I've been thinking of the 90th anniversary of the ascent of the Nazis to power in Germany. That's what happened in this season, right? 30th of January 1933, Hitler not having won an election, but having succeeded in ensuring that Parliament was at a standstill, was able to get himself named Chancellor of Germany in something of a backroom deal with people who knew that he wouldn't respect them, but kidded themselves that maybe they could control him. And the 27th of February 1933 was the Reichstag fire, which is what we would now call fake news. That what the fire was real, but the Nazis turned it into a propaganda ploy to try and influence voters and suppress voters in the March 5th, 1933 elections, where the Nazis gained incrementally more power. Those events 90 years ago are worth remembering. So worth remembering how fragile societies are. We have to keep a lid on people's worst instincts. This is what we do in civil society by having communal associations, by making sure that we tamp down hate and hateful rhetoric and bigotry, and good leaders do the same. This is what's in this week's Torah portion, right? The people worship a golden calf and they suffer a terrible punishment for it. And the Torah gives sort of a comparatively rare editorial comment on this stuff. Vayar Moshe et ha'am ki paruahu ki paro Aaron. And Moshe saw that the people were out of control since Aaron had let them get out of control, right? Like there's a sense of by fanning flames in order to make your own life easier instead of urging the difficult task of restraint and trying to figure out a way to get along positively and not violently in an imperfect world. This is what the Torah expects us to do, and democracies demand it. All societies are fragile, especially with the advent of new technologies, especially in the era of social media, just like in the era of mass communications 90 years ago, early in the era of mass communications 90 years ago. It's super important to find ways to make sure that democracies survive. Jews, other minorities, have flourished the most when stable liberal democracies function, protecting the rights of the minorities while deferring to majority will in other situations. It's an actual value. And we shouldn't need anniversaries like the one we have this spring to remind us of it, but we do. Shabbat Shalom.